Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22. We're here in Phillip Island with Valentino Rossi from 2003. I think the bike might be from 2002, but it's pretty much the same anyway. But the idea of today's video is we're going to try and win the Phillip Island Grand Prix by at least 5 seconds with only using power setting 2. Now I did try this a few days ago, and the plan was to go for a 10-second win just to match what he did in 2003 in Phillip Island, but unfortunately I ran out of space on my hard drive, and unfortunately I lost the video, so I was running out of time, so I compromised. I went with power setting 2 and 5 seconds. Maybe if you times the 2 it kind of equals 10 seconds, but still I'm going to give this one a bloody good go nonetheless. But I had a really great race when I did that one last time around. I think it was like lap 9 of 12, and unfortunately to stop recording. 4K files are massive, so unfortunately I need to get some bigger space. But for the time being, we are now already ahead by 1.2 seconds ahead of John Hopkins and Toru Okawa. Nicky Hayden there in 4th place as well. But the goal in this one is to go for it. Is to really go for it in power setting 2. I did notice that even if you use power setting 2 in this one for the entirety of the Grand Prix, it's not enough in terms of fuel consumption. You still lose too much. So there will be a point in this Grand Prix where I will have to consider dropping down to the first power setting. But for now, we'll think about that in the future. But for now, we're focusing on the 1.6 second advantage we have on John Hopkins already. So across the line we will go. We are doing a 132.9 as we had a standing start. Keen to see what we can produce with the rolling, well, the flying finish as you start, or whatever you want to call it, I can't remember. But basically, after the end of the first lap, we'll see what happens into the second lap. So the sudden loop gave me a bit of troubles, and turn 1 gave me a little bit of trouble as well. I feel like I can carry a lot more speed there, but I didn't really push them way and too far beyond, because I am using the medium tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix. It's going to get a little bit warm, but braking firm now into Honda for turn 4, on board the Honda as well, actually, as a matter of fact. We have a 2.3 second, 2.4 second advantage over John Hopkins. So far, the Suzuki doing a good job of holding off Toru Okawa and the Repsol Hondas of Nicky Hayden as well. But for the time being, we are flying around this circuit now. 2.4 seconds on the second lap. We should have the 5 second advantage done pretty soon. However, the AI gets very strong towards the end of Grand Prix. We've seen this in a lot of videos now, and I've mentioned it quite a few times. Middle towards the end of the Grand Prix, the AI really turn it up a notch. And I do understand that's because the AI don't suffer from lack of fuel, or they don't suffer from tyre degradation either. But for now, there has been a crash behind us. Don't know who exactly it was. I'm not really going to be too concerned about that because it won't impede our progress. But into the final corner, we're going to get a good indication of what lap times we can produce. Across the line, it's a 1:26.636, so a pretty damn decent lap, if I do say so myself. And that's roughly what I was running last time around when I did the previous video for 10 seconds until my hard drive decided to get full. Well, a little bit wide there into Southern Loop. I did mention that we aren't particularly confident into turn 2. I do feel pretty good when I play Ride 4, and I think that might be why I'm going a little bit wide there into that corner. Not quite got the confidence yet with MotoGP 22. You're going to find the balance of playing both video games, and so far, I'm not feeling too bad with this one. I think making a few mistakes, I don't feel particularly 100%, but we're getting there. We're getting that feeling back, and I am strongly considering sticking on MotoGP 22 for quite a while now, just so I don't lose that feeling, because I had a really good sensation with MotoGP until I started going back onto Ride 4, and I feel I've lost a step, and I want to get that back, I really do. So we had the first track limit warning there. There was this little bit of a mistake going into the Southern Loop, excuse me, not the Southern Loop, it was Siberia. Just wanted to go a little bit too tight for the apex there and cut the corner. Not ideal. Going to try and avoid doing that from now on. And also try and focus on getting the right exit out of Siberia, because you can gain quite a lot of time if you get it right, and that really cost us. 9/10 of a second we're going to lose on this particular lap, so where we were smashing the lap times and we were getting a lot of advantage against the AI, not going to happen this time around due to that small error. So 1 second behind we were on that lap, but it's not too much of a problem. We're only 2 seconds away from completing the challenge, so we can continue to push. Just we got to be careful of the tyres. The medium front will not last the duration of this Grand Prix. It'll get very difficult to start braking in those left-hander corners, such as the Southern Loop into Siberia, and even into the final corner we have to really begin to bring on the power to get the speed on the straight. So braking nice and early for Honda. We are still going to go a little bit wide, I think. Not ideal, but we are using that Honda style line there, the V-shaped line where you go in and come out in the shape of a V rather than a circled off corner like you would do with a Yamaha. Bringing on the power and going underneath the city sign. Little change of direction here from turn 7 to turn 8. You've got to be really smooth on that change there. Change it too quickly and you can't really get the bike over. It doesn't want to move. Do it too gentle and you'll be finding yourself on the grass upon the exit. So be very careful for turn 7 and turn 8. So now out to Lukey Heights and into the excellent turn 10. We've only lost a couple of tenths of a second on this lap. This is good. And the gap is almost at 4 seconds. So pretty good stuff so far, if I do say so myself. Into the left-hand side, we'll go for turn 12. Keeping it in nice and tight. Keep it in, keep it in. Gently bring on the throttle and try and avoid going across the rumble strip too much because you start bouncing on it and you start losing speed. So across the line, back into the 126s and back with a 4-second advantage. Great stuff so far. So into the doing corner for turn 1. Losing minute amount of time there. You can see on the top right-hand corner of your screen the sort of delta that we've got going on right now. But to the left-hand side for the Southern Loop. Excellent, excellent drive coming out of Southern Loop there. Really, really good. Small wheelie coming over the crest here of Stoner Corner. Into the left-hand side. We're going to start braking nice and early, quite firm, but nice and early for turn 4 for Honda. Sort of going for that curling line this time. See what the difference is? More or less the same. Actually, I think we lost a tenth of a second, so it could be wise going for the V-shaped line once again. You've got to try these things though. You've got to try things. You've got to get a feeling of what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and that's how you get quicker, and that's how you get your confidence growing. So into turn 8, bringing on the power, gently tipping it into turn 9 for Lukey Heights. Got to be careful here. Downshift a little bit, gentle on the acceleration. Don't be strong on either the brakes or the acceleration into Lukey Heights because you'll have a very, very bad time. So underneath into the left-hand side now, underneath the big Iveco sign. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but I had a go. That's all you can do. But into turn 12, keep it in nice and tight. 0.6 of a second we are going to be losing on this one, so back into the 127s. They're not ideal. A little bit topsy-turvy these lap times so far. I'm not particularly confident and content with those lap times as of yet. I like to keep things within the same second, and I guess it's not too far away, so I guess it's not too bad. I'm just too much of a perfectionist. So into the left-hand side of the Southern Loop, we are about to hit 5 seconds advantage. The spot I think we're going to get it is going into Honda. We are pretty rapid into Honda, so into turn 3 we go for the Stoner Corner. Firm on the brakes we'll go now for the Honda Corner. Slamming the gears down to first gear, nice and tight to the apex. How does this one work out? Maybe that's the key. Really tight to the apex, so still lost a little bit of time though. Can't beat that second lap, can we? It was really, really good when we had that clear space and we just went for it. But we now have the advantage. 5.5 seconds, guys and girls. And if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing. Of course, let me know if you have any other challenge ideas. This wasn't actually one of my ideas, it was one of the aces who left it in a previous comment. So big shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for letting me know. I think I did this challenge, or I was inspired by this challenge, when I did a video on GP bikes. I don't think I did the 10-second advantage because there is no AI, but I was inspired to play GP bikes after watching this race again, maybe last year or something. On into the left-hand side, 6-second advantage it could be across the line. Across the line we will go. We lost a few more tenths there, but we are back into the lower parts of 127, so the lap times haven't been too bad. Still on that 126 again though. I want to beat the 126 636, but we are getting to a stage where the left-hand side of the tyres are really going to struggle. And as you can see in the bottom right corner of your screen, the fuel consumption is so far showing minus 0.1, thus meaning we're going to have to drop to power setting 1 soon. But how much time will we lose? Because in this game, dropping to power, oh, that's wide, that is wide, but it's not a problem. The V-shaped line, did it help? I do think the V-shaped line works there. We saved 0.2 of a second by going wide into that corner. I do think I'm going to have to consider using that from now on. But getting back to the point I was making, I don't know how bad dropping to power setting 1 will be. Are we going to lose tenths? Are we going to lose seconds? Are we going to lose a monumental amount of time for Toro Cara to catch us? I don't know. And I guess the answers will only, the questions will only be answered in the next couple of laps. We are entering the final sector for the 7th lap of 9. So this hasn't got long to go, and I think we've got this one done. I've just got to be really, really careful these next couple of laps. But at the same time, we've got to keep pushing. I've only got an 0.8 of a second buffer, so it's not like I can just completely relax. It could be close. This could be very close. It was very tight when I was pushing for the 10 seconds. It was extremely tight. So we'll see what we can produce. But into turn 1, we lost some more time. Actually, our slowest lap since lap 3, where we had that big mistake. So the tyres are definitely an issue now. Keeping it in nice and tight to the southern loop. That's a pretty good line, actually. That's the best line I've done since lap 2. Can we get this done? 5.7 seconds is the advantage. Look at the tyre, though. Really doesn't want to go on the left-hand side anymore for these next 2 laps. Or at least a lap and a half. We've got to avoid this as much as possible. Look at the birds in the sky. They're watching a brilliant Grand Prix as of yet. 6 seconds is the advantage, so we have the 1 second buffer. Will it last? Will we do this? Can we conquer Phillip Island with Rossi and a 5 second advantage with power setting 2 only? Now I say power setting 2 only, but we're actually going to come up a little bit short there, aren't we? Because we're going to have to use power setting 1 at some point. And I can't exactly call the video power setting 1 and 2. It'll probably just be something 5 second related anyway. But into turn 10, keep it in nice and tight. 0.5 of a second advantage. 5 second of a tenth disadvantage right now compared to the previous lap. But this has been a very solid lap. I'm going all out. I'm just leaving it all out on the line. 0.1 fuel. Oh, it's just... Did you see it changing then? It wanted to change to 0. But I think we're going to have to drop it down to 1. I cannot risk it. I don't want to risk it. It's 0.2. We're going to have to drop it to 1. I don't know when, but we're going to have to drop it. There's no way we can do this now. 0.2. Oh, it's going to be close. But how much time we're going to lose? We have a 1.5 second advantage. 0.1 is showing on the fuel gauge. Power setting 2 is still going to be used for now. Where do I drop it as well? Could be wise. I'm just going to do it. Drop it down. Bring it to the left-hand side for Stoner Corner. And go into Honda into the braking zone. Because I think this is where we're going to not really lose that much time by dropping the power. In those braking zones. It's not really the end of the world. And I tell you what. We're still actually really close to the time anyway. We're only 0.2 of a second down. That's probably going to continue to increase. But a good drive. And better feeling actually. Because the bike's not as powerful now. So it's not slipping and sliding as it was. Much more controlled. And I tell you what. We've actually gained time here on Toro Okawa. Almost 7 seconds of an advantage here. With power setting 1. We can actually bring on power setting 2. I'll probably do it towards the end of the lap. But for now. We've got this one done, ladies and gentlemen. The 126.636 hasn't been beaten, but those consistent 127 seems to be enough to get this one done. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to win this challenge by potentially 7 seconds. Bringing on the power then for the final time, up into power setting 2. Oh, almost at power setting 3 there temporarily, but across the line, did we get the 7 seconds? But it doesn't matter even if we did. We won by 5 seconds and we have completed our challenge of the day. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you have any more challenge suggestions, let me know in the comments section down below and I'll be sure to oblige. But upon that note, thanks for watching. It's been great this video. I really enjoyed it and I hope you did too. And I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.